Hi, my kindergarten friends. I'm excited to see you today. I've been missing all of you, and some of you I got to see this week as you were picking up packets with your families, and that just made my heart so happy. So I'm excited to see all of you. We're going to be reviewing a little bit about 5 frames and 10 frames like we practiced last week. So last week I had a paddle that looked like this, and it had chips on it. Let me take those off right now. And we showed you we talked a little bit about why it's important to learn 5 frames and 10 frames and how they help us gain a picture in our head. We didn't practice a ton of 5 frames. We talked about examples of 5 frames and 10 frames. And then we mainly used this paddle, and I would use something like this and put chips on it and tell you, okay, when we're starting here and we're counting across, we would practice and make sure that we had a picture in our brain of what that looked like. So I was going to practice a little bit with that today and have you start with 5 frames, and we talk about how many there are and how many are missing, and we would review a little bit, and then we would practice something called subitizing. So mathematicians, remember, it's important for us to have a picture in our brain of what a number looks like. So you know that this is the number 2, but we want to think about what that number looks like. That number would look like maybe 2 markers, or maybe it would look like, I use these as erasers. That's why they look so yucky. Maybe it would look like 2 socks. Maybe it would look like 2 magnets. Maybe it would look like 2 earrings. So we know that the number 2 means 1 plus 1 thing, and that equals 2. So we want to have a picture in our head of what that looks like. So that's why we practice with 5 frames and 10 frames to help us gain pictures. So if we knew, oh, a 5 frame looks like this when it's full, what would it look like if there was 1 missing? Well, if I took 1 away, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would have 4 left, which would mean 4 plus 1 is 5. Oh my goodness, that was a first grade skill. Don't tell your kindergarten teachers I told you that. So we're going to look at some 5 frames first to get some pictures in our brain, and then practice with some 10 frames getting some pictures in our brain. So what about this one? This would be what, mathematicians? This would be 3, and then we would have 2 missing. 1, 2. So remember, this is a first grade skill again. Don't tell anybody I'm telling you this. 3 plus 2 is 5. Nice work. How about this one? This one's really tricky. I think you might be really tricked when you see this one. Oh, you knew it right away? It's 0. You're totally right on. It's 0. So we could say a number sentence. 0 plus 0 equals 0. What about this one? We have 1. How many are missing? Can you show me on your fingers? 4. 4 are missing. So we would know that 4 plus 1 equals 5. You know, you can say that the other way too. I could flip it and I could say 1 plus 4 equals 5. So you almost learned 2 facts right there. What about this? What's this one? We know the whole thing is 5 if the whole thing's full. So this would be 4 plus 1 equals 5. Yeah, because we have 4. How many are missing? There's 1 missing. You know, as you get really good at this, you're not going to have to count them. You're not going to have to say 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to see it and you're going to know there's 4. How about this one? Did any of you do it without counting it? It's easy with these low numbers to try to do that. Nice work. I think some of you did. So this is 2. And how many do we have missing? See if you can do it without counting. See if you can do it just with your eyeballs looking. Oh, I think you did. It's 3. So if we put that into a number sentence, it would be 2 plus 3 equals 5. Good work. All right, let's try this one. Oh, it's another tricky one. Another tricky one. It's 5, it's full. If it's a 5 frame, we know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. If they're all full, since it's a 5 frame, then it's going to be 5 every time. The cool thing is, just like last week we talked about it, you don't have to count it. When you see it's full, you know that it's 5 every time because each row has 5. So let's practice a little bit with 10 frames now. And this is what the 10 frames look like. I'm going to flash them to you. We're only going to try the first 5 today. Oh, and I mixed them up. I'm so sorry. See, I had them sorted and then I just shuffled them for some silly reason. My goodness. All right, there we go. We're only going to do the first 5 this week. Okay, look at this one. This is on a 10 frame now, so it's going to look like this. Here it is. Did you get a picture in your brain? How many? It's 2. I bet you didn't even have to count. Let's see how many we're missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're missing 8. Could you make a number sentence? 2 plus 8 equals 10. That one's tricky. How about that? Wait, each row is how many? Each row is, give me a high five. Each row is 5. So if you know each row is 5, you don't even have to count them. So we have 5, and how many are in this row? 5. So if we put that into a number sentence, 5 plus 5 equals 10. Nice work. You're going to be so ready for next week because next week we're going to be making some number sentences. We're going to be writing them down and practicing our number writing. You are going to knock my socks off, mathematicians. I just know it. How about this one? This is how many? This is 4. And how many are missing? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 missing. Could we make that into a number sentence, do you think, mathematicians? We have 4 plus 6 equals 10. We have 2 more. How many is this? Try to do it without counting. Just do it with your eyeballs. See if you know it. How many? 3. And you're right. So we have how many missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice work. So 3 plus 7 equals 10. Okay, last one. Last one. What is it? It's 1. Nice work. Does anyone know this fact? How many more would we have to add to get to 10? How many more do we have to add to get to 10? All right, let's hear it. Yeah, let's count them and find out. It's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 plus 9 equals 10. Nice work. That was kind of a review from last week, and you did great. So right now, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to use my paddle. I'm going to use some cards, and they're not going to have numbers in the right, or excuse me, objects in the right spot on our 10 frame. This is called subitizing, or getting that picture solid in your head so that you can recall that picture and tell us how many you see, okay? So what I'm going to do is flash you a picture like this, and then I'm going to put it back down, and I'm going to ask you to show me on your fingers how many you saw, and then we're going to see if you're correct. Here we go. How many birds did you see? Think about how you saw them. Did you see them in the top row, in the bottom row, or where did you see them? You know, I saw one in the top row and one in the bottom row. Is that what you saw? Let's see if you're right. Is that what you saw? One in the top row and one in the bottom row? How many is that? That's 2. We're used to seeing 2 like this. But is it the same number? It is. It's just helping us gain a different picture in our brain for what 2 looks like. So try to store these pictures in your brain. Here we go. Here's another one. What do you think? Can you hear my family? They're playing basketball across the basement. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get them to be quiet. It's a little bit tricky. It was 1. Is that in the spot that we're used to seeing it in? It's not. It's not in the spot we're used to seeing it in, but it's still 1. Did you see it in the bottom row? I saw it in the bottom row. All right, let's try it. This is what we usually see it like. We usually see it in that corner. Let's try a new one. Ready? All right. I'm going to put it down. Think about where you saw them. Did you see them in the top row or the bottom row? This is a really good skill, mathematicians. It's called subitizing. We're gaining that picture in our brain, and we're trying to tell you what we see. Can you tell others what you see? If you need to, you can pause the video. Okay, I saw some in the top row and the bottom row. In fact, I think I saw 3 in the top row and 1 in the bottom row. Let's check. 3 in the top row, 1 in the bottom row. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice work, mathematicians. This is what we're used to seeing, and this is what we just practiced with. Same numbers, just different spots to give our brains a different trick, different chance to see a picture. Okay, here we go. This is our next one. I'm gonna hide it. Think about where you saw them. Oh, gee, was that too fast? Do you want me to show you again? Okay, how many did you see? Where did you see them? How many did you see? And where did you see them? I saw 3 in the top row, 2 in the bottom row. Think about how many that is. 3 in the top row, 2 in the bottom row. All right, let's see if you're right. How many? Oh, give me a high five. Yes, we saw 5. Nice work. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. Oh, this is what we're used to seeing, and we saw it a little bit different. Okay, last one. Last one, mathematicians. Ready? Those were sheep. Where did you see the sheep? Where did you see the sheep? Did you see them in those corners? You know, the first time I did this, I missed this one. Did anybody miss that one? How many do you see? Can you say it out loud? I see 3. I see 1, 2, 3. And this is what we're used to seeing. Same number. Did you store that picture in your brain? Mathematicians, you just grew your brains. You just helped your brain store a picture and then show us that picture. Sometimes we can't see into your brain, so sometimes we really need you to tell us what you see. And when we're able to understand what's in your brain and you tell us in words, it helps your brain remember. And you are growing your brain, and we're so proud of you. So we just learned, we practiced 5 frames, we practiced 10 frames, and we practiced subitizing. And actually, we made number sentences too. But don't tell anybody we did that because we weren't supposed to do that yet. That's a skill for when you're older. So I'm teaching you first grade stuff. Great job, mathematicians. I just love you guys. See you soon.